Honestly, it still blows my mind that people are under the impression that, oh, I'm doing lightweight and high reps because I'm trying to cut down. Are you kidding me? What's good, YouTube? It's your boy John Mango, and I'm back again representing Beyond the Iron, where I drop weekly fitness content on this channel, helping you get to your fat loss goals and your fitness goals faster and more enjoyably. So if you're interested in doing that, then consider subscribing below. At the end of the video, we're going to talk more about the reps on fat loss. I'll give you some specific recommendations as to what to do, but we're going to talk all about rep ranges today, both muscle gain and fat loss, just to make sure that it's all covered for you here. And also, I'm going to link any and all studies that I use to back up the points I'm making in this video at the bottom of the description, so check those out if you're interested. All right, let's start off with muscle gain, okay? Now, muscle gain, typically we don't hear, I'm going to do lightweight, high reps for muscle gain, of course, but for some reason, the muscle building rep ranges are not nearly as, misconstrued as the fat loss reps. Whatever the hell that means, as you'll see in this video, it doesn't mean much. But let's go ahead and dissect this. So for maximum muscle gain, there's actually a rep range that's recommended, and that's typically somewhere between 6 to 12 reps, okay? Within this rep range is where you're gonna maximize hypertrophy. Now, it's worth noting that when you are going between 6 and 12 reps, that weight that you're using, let's say you're going for 10 reps, the weight that you're using to get to 10 reps should be relatively heavy. In other words, you shouldn't have more than 2 reps left in the tank most of the time by the end of those 10 reps, because then you're just using a light weight, and 10 to 12 reps isn't actually doing much for you. So keep in mind, when I'm giving you these rep ranges, it's assuming that the weight you're using within those rep ranges are actually heavy enough so that you can see the result of that stimulus. And it's been shown that doing lower reps at a higher intensity of your 1 rep max does actually result in increases in strength, more so than any other rep range. And the rep ranges have, been varied between the studies, but typically somewhere between 1 and 5 reps is where you maximize strength. Now, when you get up to 6 reps, it's still very close to that, 1 to 5 rep range. So from 6 to 12 reps, the reason why that's the sweet spot is because you are able to get enough volume in a smaller amount of time with those reps. So for example, if you had 3 hours to work out, I would actually recommend that you go about it in a powerlifting style, meaning lifting very, very heavy weights for sets of, 1 to 5 and multiple of those sets so that it equals out to the same volume. That would be great, except not all of us have 3 hours to work out in. As a matter of fact, if you do have 3 hours to work out in, I still don't recommend it, unless of course you're competing and it's your job. So that's actually where 6 to 12 reps come in. You're able to get enough volume at a high enough intensity, heavy enough weight, that you can trigger the same amount of stimulus for growth in a shorter amount of time. So instead of a 3-hour workout, now you can do it in 1 hour. Get the same muscle growth, you're good to go, right? So that's essentially why 6 to 12 is a great rep range and the ideal ones to work within if you're looking to maximize how much muscle you build. Again, if you're looking for strength, you want to go lower, 6 to 8, but if you're okay with a little more time, then somewhere between 1 to 6 reps is where you want to make the bulk of your workout, the beginning of your workout, to maximize strength. Now, we've kind of actually covered both muscle gain and strength. Let's talk about this whole high reps, low weight bullshit for cutting. I don't know where this one came from, but probably from the same dumpster that released all the other stuff that we hear of in the industry today. But basically, people are under the impression that if you use lighter weight and higher reps, you are cutting, okay? Like, I'm doing more reps, so it's shaping the muscle, something like that, right? Well, that actually makes 0 sense, because again, if we look at the studies down below, you're gonna see that there was a study done where it showed that doing over a certain amount of reps, typically over 15, is going to lead to diminished gains the further up the rep ranges you go. So doing these sets of 20, 25, 30 or more is actually going to produce minimal amounts of muscle gain and definitely barely any strength, really. And that's why eventually doing push-ups is not going to keep growing the chest, but you got to make it harder so you can get up to that rep range that we spoke about earlier. Now when it comes to cutting, you actually should stay within the previously mentioned rep ranges. You should stay somewhere between 8 to 12, and I would even argue so far as to say that you should stay closer from 6 to 8 reps for the majority of your workouts. And here is the reason why. When you're doing lighter weight, when you start in a caloric deficit, meaning when you're trying to lose fat, that means that you're only going to allow your body a greater opportunity to break down the muscle mass that you've built over time. Or if you don't have much muscle, then it's simply not going to build muscle as you're losing fat, which means you're going to lose weight, which includes muscle, right? So lightening the weight, doing higher reps, gives your body less of a stimulus. It doesn't realize the need to synthesize or maintain the muscle on its body because it doesn't have to lift as much weight. So what I'm saying here is this: if I lift 100 pounds for 3 sets of 20 reps, and then it's not the same as doing even a little bit less volume, but within those rep ranges at a heavier weight, you're gonna see more results from that because there's more of a stimulus on the nervous system and on the musculature to actually have a reason to stay on your body. And the reason you want that muscle to stay on your body is so that you lose body fat and not just weight in general, right? Now, the quickest way to be very disappointed in your weight loss results is when you lose a ton of weight, the number on the scale goes down, but you don't look much better. That's a result of doing high reps, low weight, or even no weight training, and just arbitrarily cutting out junk, cutting out carbs, and doing whatever. So that's why you got to be very methodical in your approach, and that's why the rep range matters. Do not, I repeat, do not lighten the weight and increase the reps if you're trying to lose fat. You want to preserve the muscle, which means you've got to create that same stimulus that you gave the body when you were trying to build muscle as your primary focus. So 6 to 12 reps is your best interest. When you're actually losing fat, I do recommend going a little bit heavier, 6 to 8, 10 being the upper limit of the reps you should be aiming for the majority of your workouts. So anyways, I hope that you found that helpful. If you did, please hit the like button below, share it with your friends, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, because I'm dropping weekly fitness content to help you get to those goals. So I'll see you in that next video. Thanks again, everyone, and I'm out.